What up? I just got back from watching Maxxxine in the theaters, and that's why I'm doing something different, a little different video here. But anyway, I just wanted to come out and talk about my review for Maxxxine. This will be spoiler. No, I'm going to try not to put spoilers in here. I guess there are some spoilers in a sense. So, all right, watch this in your own risk. Let me just say, if you don't know about the movie Maxxxine and what it's about, Maxxxine is a 2024 horror film that is the final chapter of the X franchise. It started out with X, which Mia Goth starred in and Ty West directed, and they're involved in all three of these films. Ty West directed all three of them, and I believe both Ty West and Mia Goth, who are producers on all three of these movies. But anyway, so they started with X, which I liked a lot. I thought it was a really good movie the first time I saw it. I saw Pearl, and I loved Pearl. Pearl's a prequel. Mia Goth plays Maxxxine in the first movie, X, but she also plays Old Pearl. So when they said they were going to come up with a sequel, I thought it was going to be about Maxxxine. But no, they decided to tell us this origin story of Pearl, because that's who everybody was interested in, the creepy old woman. Not many people knew that was Mia Goth playing Pearl in the first movie. So in the second movie now, and a lot of people like the second movie, even my old grandmother loves the second movie, Pearl, and my mom loves Pearl. A lot of people like that movie, and it's hard to explain to them that, yeah, she's the old woman. That's the whole point of the first one. But yeah, so Mia Goth returns in this last chapter, the final chapter of the X franchise. And I will say, coming off the movie, it just follows Maxxxine, what happened to her after, you know, the events of the first movie that took place in the 70s. We fast forward a few years, we're in 1985. Maxxxine has moved to Hollywood, and now she's trying to get into films. She still does, I think she does Dirty Dancing. She tries to make money. I'm doing Dirty Dancing like she dances. She does porno still too, I believe. But she's also dancing. She's trying to make money as much as she possibly can, and she doesn't really care. And she has the same attitude she did in the first film, but a little bit more grittier now because she's survived that massacre or that horror show. So and now all of a sudden, it's in the 80s, a time of money and drugs, and the other thing, oh yeah, the serial killer, the Night Stalker, is lurking around in the background of this entire movie. They have newscasts talking about the Night Stalker, the Night Stalker. It was a big deal back then, this serial killer that was terrorizing Hollywood or terrorizing California. So that's in the background. And at the same time this is happening, Maxxine's getting a package and is showing that they know who she is. And somebody's out there is looking for Maxxxine. Why or what? You have to see the movie to find out why. But it has to do with the events of the first movie. So if you haven't seen X, you definitely should. I want to rewatch it, because you don't really need to, honestly, but you should. This way you know what the hell's going on. So you kind of do, necessarily, you kind of do. But I mean, I don't remember everything from X. I saw that a long time ago. I rewatched it, but not the whole entire movie, just parts. I was looking for clips, I think, for a review. So I don't remember everything, but I did know something right away. I said, I already know who's the person. I mean, they give it away in like the first minute of the movie, to be honest. But yeah, so that's all I'm going to say about this movie. I'm going to get to the acting. Mia Goth is fantastic. There's something about her, I don't know what it is, but I am drawn to her. I can't say beautiful because she's weird looking, and she doesn't have eyebrows, that they're very thin. But there's something very attractive about her, and I think she's very pretty, and she's amazingly talented. I love everything she's in. Every time I see anything with her, I want to watch her performance in it. And I used to think, watching this and Pearl, like, oh, there's not much difference between her and Pearl because it's the same character, but there is a difference. When I look back at like, is it Infinity Pool that she was in? That's a totally different character from this, and she's good at doing that. But Pearl and Maxxxine are supposed to be kind of like similar characters in a way. So yeah, I think she's great. She's fantastic. I love her in this. I liked everybody in here. Even there was a black guy who's her best friend. I thought I don't think he's a famous person. I thought he was great. Then they have heavy hitters, side characters. One guy, I was like, I know him. I'm like, where do I know him from? And then it hit me. He was on the Young Rock show. He played The Rock. So he's going to have an interesting career. I don't know if he had many lines. I think he had like 3 lines, but he's in the movie. We got Bobby Cannavale is in this from Boardwalk Empire and Vinyl, I believe. And I'm not sure if he was in Vinyl, but I'm thinking he was in Vinyl because Scorsese likes him. And The Irishman, and he's a very, very talented actor. Very, very talented. Very, very good. Especially Boardwalk Empire season 3 when he's introduced. He actually kind of revived that show in a sense after losing Michael Pitt, even though Michael Pitt was a shithead on set and all, and back, whatever. But Michael Pitt was essential to the first 2 seasons, and then we lost him, and then all of a sudden, like, where is the show gonna go? And Bobby Cannavale comes in and he becomes the greatest bad guy. I was like, this is amazing. He's fantastic. So he's a fantastic actor. He comes in as a side character detective along with Michelle Monaghan, who I haven't seen in a very long time. I remember she used to be everywhere back in like 2000, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I was like, where has she been? I think she had a show with Joshua Jackson, right? I think that she was on a show for a few years about an affair or something. I don't know. She's in it. She's great in this too. Giancarlo Esposito from fucking Breaking Bad. What's his name? Gus Fring. He's in this. He's amazing. A side character too. He's like Kevin Bacon is in this. Kevin Bacon's great. By the way, I just saw him yesterday in Axel F movie, and Kevin Bacon is like he's great at being a bad guy. I remember the first time I saw him being a bad guy was probably Hollow Man, but he's barely in it. You don't see him much in it. But then right after, I think the first real time seeing him get into this bad guy persona that he's phenomenal in was X-Men First Class. So I thought he was great in that. And then, Axel F, he was pretty good. He's just wild. And this one, he's great. And he does a great Louisiana accent. I went to Louisiana now. I can say he does a pretty fucking great Louisiana accent. I thought it was pretty good. So he's in the movie too, and there's probably other people I'm missing, and I forgot their names. But yeah, this whole thing's Maxxine wants this part. She basically gets this part in this film, auditioning, and it's a sequel for a horror movie that kind of has images that are reminiscent, some of them, to Pearl in a sense. Like there are little things that are splashed in here that remind me of Pearl. Like when on the set, you see these soldiers walk by and just reminded me of Pearl. Some reason the cover or the set, like they walk by places, I was like, that seems like that was where the set was on Pearl. And so there's some things like that. I feel like The Puritan was kind of like the story is like loosely based. It's a satanic movie, but I have a feeling like Pearl is somehow, I don't know, for some reason in my brain, I feel like the story of Pearl is somehow being used and adapted into this movie. It isn't. I don't think it was. I'd have to rewatch it at all. I don't think so. But for me, for some reason, I just get that sense that somehow the movie, The Puritan, is related to Pearl. So I just got that sense for some reason. The music is great in this movie. Oh yeah. So she gets the part, and yes, somebody's bothering her, and she meets the director, and the director is this first, she's a female horror director. She's did the first movie. This is the second movie she's gonna do. She's taking a risk hiring Maxxine because Maxxine is known for doing pornos, so it's like a big deal. So she's taking a risk because she says Maxxine has like talent, but she has to like whatever else is going on in her life, squash it. And there's a lot of other shit going on in her life because people are dying left and right next to her that know her, and you got to find out why. And that's that. So now she has to squash that. So that's what's interesting about Maxxine. That's the story. What's interesting about it is just how it connects to the first movie, really, and how it wraps everything up kind of all together. Because yeah, I do think it wraps all 3 movies together. I will say this. I was very interested in the film. I did not go to the bathroom. I don't think many people left at all to watching this movie, and everyone was quiet. So there are scary parts because it's a horror movie, but they aren't, for me, they didn't do anything. And it's funny because before, when I used to do reviews or watch, I wouldn't go to movies. I wouldn't talk during the movies. And now, since I do reaction videos to movies, it's hard not to talk when I go to the movies. So there were parts where I was laughing out loud and no one else was laughing. And I was like, maybe I'm just fucked up in the head. But I thought this was, I think this is better than X and Pearl. I left feeling that. I don't know, people weren't excited, they weren't cheering, but for me, I like the way it ended. It ended the way I wanted it to end. There was nothing. I have no complaints about anything at all. I didn't even say this should be like this or they should have done this. Nothing. I think it was perfect. I think it was perfect. I will say one thing that was annoying is the backdrop is the Night Stalker, and I get why, because this incorporates satanic. Basically, everyone around Pearl that's getting killed, they're pretending like they're trying to cover up and blame the Night Stalker. So they're putting satanic like things on these people. So that's all I'm gonna say with that. So I get it. It works for that, and also it's the 80s. It's just a good time to do it too, I think. And it was interesting, but it's been done before. We've seen that done before. That's the only problem I have with it, but they make it work very well, and it's not a focus. Like, we need to, like, is the Night Stalker related to this at all? I knew it wasn't. If other people thought it was, sorry, but from the beginning to the, I'm like, I already know. And it happened to be just the way I said and I thought, and like everybody probably thought, that's a fan of these three movies. But it works perfectly. I liked it a lot. I like this movie a lot. I gave it a 5 out of 5. Wow. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Highly enjoyable. I really like this movie. I think it's the best out of the three. I really do. I'm probably gonna have to watch the first two again, and then watch this one, all three of them, back to back to back. Like, I see the first. Is Ty West the first director to do a horror film, trilogy, a horror trilogy, and complete it? And it's the first trilogy that. It's not like, okay, so most times the trilogies you get, oh, the first one's okay. Oh, the second one's really good, and the third one sucks, like Back to the Future, right? First one's great, second one's great. As if you're a kid, you love the second one more than the first. As you get older, 1 and 2, they're just good. They're both good. One's better, but, you know, 2 is really, really good. So you got those two, and then 3's, kind of falls off, right? Same thing with, what's the other trilogy? I was just thinking in my head right before, oh, shit. I was just thinking about another trilogy. Oh, Star Wars. So Star Wars, right? You got New Hope and then Empire Strikes Back. Great, just leaps and bounds ahead. The second one's better. And then the third one, The Return of the Jedi, it's not bad, but it's like, right? This one is the first movie, I don't know about horror trilogies. I gotta look it up, but I don't know how many there are. I mean, I would say Scream would have been one of them, but the third one sucked, right? I didn't like the second one at the time, but the second one's much better, you know? So this is the first time ever, I think, and maybe I'm just me. Maybe it's just me. I think other people probably not gonna like Maxxxine, maybe. I don't know. But I think they just got better. The first one was good. A lot of people love Pearl more than the first one. They don't even know it's part of a trilogy. And then they're like, oh yeah, I saw and then they'll go see X and they don't like it as much as Pearl, right? But it's always better. It's X was a good movie. Pearl's up there. Above it, and now Maxxxine, in my opinion, Maxxine's is better than Pearl. I loved this movie a lot. I laughed. I was smiling. I loved the music. Mia Goth was great. I think in the first one she overdid it a little, and I think she was perfect here, like the perfect amount of Maxxxine, like her style, her attitude, or whatever. I think it was just perfect. And she portrays being vulnerable when she's not supposed to be, and you know she's not. And she does portray that hard ass because she did survive that. But then there's a moment where she just becomes vulnerable. It breaks her. All this shit that's happening is breaking her, and she's like, I liked it. I think she did a fantastic job. I think both her and Ty West deserve a round of applause. Honestly, this is one of the best horror trilogies ever. If it is, I don't know. I don't even know how many horror trilogies there are out there. This is just one of the best. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the film. I loved everything about it. I have no complaints at all. I loved how it ended, and I hope there's no reason to do another one, and I hope they never do. That's the only bad part in a way, because I'm like, damn, I want these two to work together again. I want Ty West and Mia Goth to work together again. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah, if you saw Maxxxine, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about the movie. If you're new here, subscribe. If you like this video, hit the like button, and I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.